He's not competing against anyone but his own ability to get better.
It's surreal to look around and think that people are actually paying money to come and see him play.
You need hockey sense to be a great player, to be an NHL player these days, and I think he has that.
The whole town knew Will Cooley was coming, and Will showed him, this is what you're missing out on.
Assistant number 12, Katie Stevenson, and number 21.
Will's got an interesting history with sports. He's always been a bit of a go-getter. I remember the first time we took him to High Park for T-ball, which is basically baseball off a tee. And Will got there and started like, I don't want to play T-ball, I came here to play baseball. Buddy, you're only 6. Like everyone here, your age is playing T-ball. You had to tell him that, and they sort of got him calmed down because he was convinced he was ready to take a fastball.
Me and my dad would always play basketball when we were younger. We don't play much more because, you know, he's getting a little old now and I might hurt him.
Will's sister was a competitive swimmer for many years, still is, actually at university. We wanted the kids to be active. We didn't put them in sports so that they could end up being professional athletes. We put them in so they could learn things like leadership, teamwork, cooperation, just exercise.
He's competitive with his sister, even though they're complete opposite sports, and a lot of the times he's chatting with his friends on Fortnite. He's in the basement and I'm upstairs and I can hear him going, there's shooters over there, go get them. So he's ultra competitive playing video games, I know that.
He started to find baseball a little bit too slow, a little boring for him, and he liked the action of hockey. So he stopped playing baseball and decided to focus on hockey. So that was when people from the OR Group, which is the agency we work with, they approached us saying, I think Will has the qualities that you need to be a hockey player, and we would be interested in working with you.
You know, Will's the first one to put his arm around a guy when he's having a bad game and say it's okay, but he's also the first guy to say, hey, let's pick it up a bit. I know 2 Wills. I know Will that when we're not playing an important game is keeping it light, having fun, leading the boys, you know, whether it's with, you know, some stretching or just in the dressing room. And then the other Will that just gets in the zone and does his own thing. And that's another way of leading, is the guys know, you know, Will Cooley's ready to play, I better be too.
With the 3rd selection in the 2018 OHL priority selection, Peterborough Petes.
The Peterborough Petes are very pleased to select with our first round pick from the Toronto Marlies, William Cooley.
An exciting day for any hockey player, getting the call to the Ontario Hockey League. Pete's general manager Mike Oak holding the annual press conference introducing the team's first pick. The problem? He was a no-show. Will Cooley's advisor had let the Petes know before the draft the Toronto native would not report to the team if selected by the Petes. Oak admitted this isn't the first time a player has said don't draft them, and the Petes didn't. But this time, Oak couldn't pass up the chance of taking such a high-caliber player.
We met with our agents. At the time, they said, don't answer the calls from Peterborough. We don't want Will to play there. We just don't feel it'd be a good environment for him. There's a lot of unknowns. And sometimes it's rather to go the devil you know than the devil you don't.
You have to surround yourself with people you trust and then just go with those people, right? And just believe in them, believe in their advice, believe in their decisions. Ultimately, the decision is yours, but if you trust them, at the end of the day, you won't have any regrets.
So would they have a sense of this?
When Peterborough fans would say stuff to me on Twitter and Instagram and stuff like that, I just would ignore it and sort of push it off to the side and just really focus on what I was trying to do and, you know, control what I could and not worry about what they were thinking and just do the best I could to keep moving forward.
I have a thing about social media is that it has enabled a lot of naysayers that would otherwise not have a voice, and they probably don't really deserve to have a voice if they're just criticizing people.
Very exciting, signing my first OHL contract, and I can't wait to get things started with the Windsor Spitfires.
Will Cooley officially joined the team today after agreeing to a standard OHL player and education package. The 16-year-old was drafted 3rd overall this year by the Peterborough Petes and warned the team he would not report if they picked him. The Spitfires sent 7 draft picks to Peterborough in exchange for Cooley, and the 6'2", 200-pounder didn't waste any time proving his worth. He scored 3 goals and added a shootout winner in Buffalo last weekend at the OHL Showcase.
I'm just right there. I'm so close to try to make the NHL, to pursue the dream.
If you're an OHL player, 16, 17 years old, and you're at high school, people looking up to you, maybe some jealousy. They're representing a brand. They're representing the Windsor Spitfires. Everybody knows who they are in the town, so they have to behave a certain way.
He actually fractured his hip last year, so he was out for 6 weeks. So that was actually a bit of an eye-opener for us, and I think it was an eye-opener for Will as well, to say there's no guarantee in this, right? So the game could be finished at any second.
To watch your former players go out on the big stage and know that they've got so much on the line and that an injury could take it all away, it's nerve-wracking for sure.
I always play every shift like I'm indestructible. I trust my body to help me succeed and help keep me healthy.
He's got to learn to manage his time, as grade 11's a bit tougher than grade 10. He's typically an A student, and he's not right now. And he's a 16-year-old guy. Sometimes their focus is elsewhere, not on school. I mean, we've tried to keep him focused on school, but we know where he wants to be.
Hanging out with friends, you know. I sort of took that for granted before with having a lot of spare time. It might be a little different this summer now that we can drive. I'm hoping we can go to the beach a bit more. And I'm pretty pale, so I want to get tanned, but I just like hanging out with them a lot and going out to eat and stuff.
I think he's realizing that it's not as glamorous as it looks on the outside. So if he really wants to make a go of this, he's really going to have to, settle in and figure it out. And I think he'll do that.
After the game, they have this skate with the Spits, where the community can go on the ice and skate with the players. So out we go, we're skating, and I get to skate a couple rounds with Will. And some little kid with their father, the kid comes up and goes, "Can I have your autograph?" And I sort of skated over to say hi to the dad. And he said, "Is that your boy?" And I said, "Yeah." And he goes, "He's a hell of a hockey player, but even better, he's great with the kids at the arena." And I thought, you know what? Like, everyone knows you can play hockey, but you can be an arrogant guy and just sort of walk around thinking the world owes you everything because you're a good hockey player, or you could give back. And that made me more proud than the fact that he's a good hockey player, is that he's a good kid. So Mary and I did something right, or Mary did anyway.